top lane. Could see them both recall, actually go back and upgrade the jungle item, and then get the red buff, potentially look for the very first gank in the top lane. If Whirlip is pushing it, as I expect him to do on Cassiopeia, that could be an opening for Lulex, but he has to care. But be careful about Frederick and the potential counter gank.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see both junglers taking trips frequently up to that top side. They want to keep Whirlip safe. That has been the Giants' strategy for the most part in this split. H2K, vice versa, have had a lot of success when they've done that, and they know that Whirlip is really critical to the success of Giants gaming.
Especially when he's playing this late game carry.
Very immobile late game carry.
Plays the first ward here, so the normal jungle time before all the changes to the jungle was 320 would be like double buff jungler ready to gank. But because people are now doing full clears, it takes a little bit longer for them to get this double buff here. Therefore, well, it could delay his trinket just a little bit, and now has it placed to spot Lulex if he wants to go for a gank.
Speaking of Lulex, he is making his way up to the top side, but he's looking at the Krugs first. Odoamne perfectly happy to just trade a little bit of farm for the time being. Whirlip actually a little bit ahead in that. Although in the mid lane, Peppy is quite up on Ryu because of his early back.
Yeah, that early back here and the instant level 2 for Pepinero actually forced Ryu to just sit back and wait for the minions to be pushed to his tower.
That and he's eating charms too. He's actually not dodged
that too.
Many of those.
First gank.
Here we go, Lulex.
Into the top lane.
Gonna send a spider out. That's actually gonna get spotted, so should prompt Whirlip to back away immediately, and he does. Lulex going to back as he sees the ward. Well, actually doesn't. Fades away.
He did see the ward disappear, so he now knows the timing on the trinket here for Whirlip, knowing exactly when the ward was placed and when he can actually place the next one in about a minute's time. So he can try and play around it. He already picked up the sweeping lens as well on the first back. He can return to the top lane if he wants to, still having the red buff, and trying again to force a flash away from Whirlip. He actually doesn't have flash, so Lulex can return to this top lane and go for the next gank.
Yeah, there's still some timing to use in the aftermath of that crazy level 1. Audrey Rydell staying pretty safe in this bottom side. Quite a lot of poke, as you mentioned, from Ezreal.
Yeah.
Hjarnan hasn't been too perturbed by it. He's kept up well in farm, but Voidal is taking quite a lot of damage if he's not too careful.
Yeah, right now, I mean, H2K's bottom lane is just going to wait out till level 6 because, again, there is a lot of early damage from Malulu. She's one of the supports who can actually trade the best in the early stages of the game, as long as she controls her mana. So this lane is just a bit of a farm base for now. Voidal, though, has stun charge up. Doesn't really want to use it on Rydell.
Oh, he is going to. Half health, though, but Voidal not too healthy himself. Audrey's going to turn it on. Voidal, though, in the front. Rydell extremely low, but he's got the sustain, as you mentioned, the boomerang. He's going to connect both ways on him. That'll force Giants bot lane to think a little bit twice.
Not exactly why Rydell actually avoided, so he didn't really want to use his stun onto Rydell here, because then soon Audrey can jump. Lulex, though.
Yeah, jungle combat, skirmishers smite down, and here we go. Here comes Ryu and Pepinero, who's going down. Looks like it might be Frederick, and it will be, but Lulex on the return. Peppy comes up with one for himself, and both junglers back to Fountain.
Trading 1 for 1. Both junglers here ended up dying. Frederick didn't actually have his flash from the level 1. Meanwhile, though, because Whirlip went back to base and didn't actually teleport to lane, he wanted to get that early tier so he can start getting it stacked up. I really think that is the best thing he can do on a Cassiopeia. You want to get that tier early. Didn't use teleport back, though, so actually decided to give up a bit of farm to Odoamne.
But Odoamne also made the roam down, trying to help secure that one. Now Peppy is a little bit low. Ryu is going to force him to pop a biscuit in that mid lane, but got to be careful. This starts to get a little bit dangerous. Ryu at level 6 now. Feeling a little bit more confident. Dodges that charm.
Pepinero has no mana, so Ryu can just do whatever he wants. So even if a charm lands, there's no follow-up from Pepinero. And therefore Ryu can keep trading back and forth once again.
Just like that.
Jumping in.
He can't safely farm at this point, and even though Peppy is a couple CS ahead, that's not going to be the same for long. Forced to back away. Lulex now making his way to the Giants jungle. Frederick busy clearing out his Raptor camp.
Yeah, and as soon as you have the pressure in the mid lane, it opens up for your jungler to actually walk into the enemy jungle and use that route to get to the bottom lane.
Yeah,
so he's sitting there now. Oh, Andre's walking right into it.
Ooh, big trouble. He's going to be able to E away, but not quite enough to kill him. Ignite is ticking his health bar, but he does get away. Frederick here as well. Teleports both being spent. They decided to flip the action switch, and here comes Whirlip, but there's no backup. Odoamne's here as well. Flashes, ults. They found Voidal, but there's no follow-up at all, and Voidal takes the kill onto Whirlip.
Whirlip actually flashed behind two guys from H2K and then only managed to hold on to Voidal here. Not exactly the target he wanted to get. He should just cancel his teleport as soon as the fight was over. Cancel it, stay in your lane and just sit and farm. Just stack up your TS, stack up your poison. Don't look for early fights in this casual PA if you don't have to in this situation. One-on-one your laning phase, farm, all you have to do. And yet he went aggressive for it and actually ended up losing on it.
Yeah, really, really awkward read there and didn't quite work out for them. Looked like it could have been a great escape, but Werlib steps up and volunteers this tribute running into 3 members of H2K. It's going to set him back just a little bit as the rest of the lanes settle back into the farm game.
2 of the early kills have gone to Rio. That is massive for H2K. Their mid game is going to be very strong when you have Sivir Annie to start the fights. Now follow up, and of course, you have the LeBlanc who can just assassinate people. It's going to be scary things for H2K, or scary things for Giants in this case, because H2K can really push their lead once they complete the DFG on Rio. Yeah, which is still alive because it's 5.1 for the people who wonder.
Yep, just for a little while. Not yet gone. Frederick now going to jump onto Ryu, who will distort his way away. Pushed a little far forward. And Giants really trying to make early plays here, and I feel like that's fine if you're not Werlib. That really was the key mistake there, and we'll see if it does end up burning them now. Back to lane, Peppy is there. Ryu gonna jump forward, find some more damage. Just like that, half his health bar is gone, and Pepinero can't return fire.
Just keep dancing around with the distortion. Pepinero would have to blow his ulti to actually follow him if he wanted to, and we haven't seen as much action in this top lane as we expected. One gank from, oh well, I mean, Lewis was up there once and decided to back away, and that was actually it. We haven't seen too much.
Flash is still down for Werlib, by the way, after that escapade in the bottom
teleport
lane.
Flash.
But Lulex has not made too many trips up there. He's been a little bit more interested in getting his Claire on. Has the Chilling Smite, as we mentioned before. A little bit tankier on this Elise now.
Yeah, standard build on Elise, you go full tank. Juggernaut coming in as the first item. You can get some magic penetration early if you want some more dueling power.
But they've got so much damage and magic damage in general with Ryu. And
it's purely for the early game. It's purely for the early game. You just get flat magic penetration, so you are stronger in these ganks, or the counter ganks. But he has just gone straight for Ruby Crystals into the Juggernaut. He want to get a bit tanky for the first Dragon fight. Because again, remember, H2K, they want to fight in this mid game. So having this Elise sitting on a 500 HP bonus from a Juggernaut is a big bonus for them.
Pepinero, every time we pan back to him, he's just a little bit low here, and Ryu just finds even more damage. It's not enough, but it was close.
Ryu has been the first mid laner to keep Pepinero in lane all the time. Pepinero used to just roam to top lane, roam to bottom lane. No. This time around, Ryu has forced him to stay on this LeBlanc with the 2 early kills. And also Voidal here for Frederick.
He's going to be looking for that. There is no flash available. Voidal, True Shot Barrage comes in. Frederick shielded up, but it's not enough. Voidal drops the Tibbers, and now Rydal has to back away.
So Frederick coming in, he actually tried to flash EQ for the knock-up onto Voidal. He didn't manage to land it. Instead, he ulted on him, and the wild growth from Rydal actually pushed Voidal out of the Cataclysm so he could start walking away a little bit. We also just saw the damage from a level 6 Annie combined with the BF sword on a Sivir.
Here's the dive though, Werlib, he's gonna get stunned and stunned again. The smite is down, they're trading tower aggro, and Lulex is going to split it off. Otawamne, and he get away with a hair's breadth.
That was so well played by Lulex and H2K. Notice how he quickly turned around when he was expecting the ulti to come from Werlib. He just turned around, didn't get stunned, just took the damage and could then go in and finish the kill. Really, really nice setup here, and predicting the flash, or the ulti, sorry, from Werlib.
And they've spread them so thin now. Pepinero misses the charm, eats so much damage. Again, Ryu is just making his life extremely difficult. He's already taken down the tower, and now he needs some help from Rydal.
And second game we see now where Giants are in trouble. In the early game, Werlib didn't manage to get going. Frederick didn't manage to find the right ganks, and suddenly they're falling behind, just like they did yesterday against Unicorns of Love. And we do see also Werlib now going Giants build, want to get the Rylai's as his first completed item, and then you get the Archangel after once your tier is fully stacked.
H2K in a very comfortable position right now, establishing a bit of vision control, some roams by Voidal to get some of that vision control up, but Giants also trying to make sure that they aren't going to be in the dark when this dragon starts.
Yeah, we were looking at Archery and this Ezreal in the champ select and wonder which kind of build he wants to go for. He's going Trinity Force, and then should be into a Blade of the Ring King, a second item, or a BT if you want a bit more poke damage, but Blade of the Ruined King seems to be the standard after Trinity Force when you don't go tier on Ezreal. So this is basically to get a mid-game spike for him, where he doesn't have to wait to stack up this tier, which gets stronger and stronger going towards the late game, obviously when it gets fully stacked. But he's just going full mid-game, get a Trinity Force, and be able to duel or fight against H2K when you know they're going to be the strongest.
Yep, now Pepinero in some more trouble. Ryu's going to find him, and the damage.
Thank you, DFG.
Once more, the DFG comes in handy. That's going to prompt a Dragon start for H2K. They're going to try to grab it all and more. Dragon going down to about half health here, and there is no response from Rydal and Adri, although the True Shot Barrage was not quite enough. A little early, and Lulex smites it down.
And the thing is here, again, about Ryu in this mid lane. Everyone says he's really good one-on-one. Like, when you talk to the mid laners in Europe, they're like, yeah, Ryu is very good one-on-one, great mechanics, but he's just not really working with his team. This game and the game yesterday, he got a great start in the lane phase, and he's really using it just to snowball it completely.
And now he's roaming a little bit. This tower is gone. Whirlip has to run out, but look at that. Health bar is so low, he flashes away. That time, the flash actually ensures his survival, but H2K grabs a turret down on bottom. They're just grabbing everything where they can.
Yeah, and Frederick, because he can't really follow all these quick rotations from H2K, decided to pick up a second pair of boots, see if he gets a bit of extra mobility. Sadly for him, the game doesn't work that way.
That's a little too bad, you realized, just a little bit after that. But Ryu has been magnificent in this mid lane, and he was underperforming a little bit last week. Started to step up a little bit more, but against Peppy, you're right. He's kept him in check. He's been 2-3 steps ahead. And on this LeBlanc, he's made it very clear. Well, I can't even talk about that because Adri is in a little bit of trouble himself. Actually going to burn both of his summoners to try to escape, and he should be able to walk it out from the Tibbers. But back to Ryu. This is why DFG is getting removed.
Well, this is at least the first week we actually see Ryu in Europe perform well. Because from Rocket at IM Cologne, it did work out for him. Millennium obviously failed to even qualify to the expansion tournament, where they actually lost to Giants, funny enough, in that game 2-1. And a game where Pepinero outplayed Ryu in the mid lane in the wins for Giants. Well, and now he's getting some revenge while they're both in the LCS.
In the expansion tournament as well. H2K, Giants faced off. We all know how that one ended. A couple of times, as a matter of fact. And it's starting to look a little bit more that way again. 5,000 gold or so ahead for H2K at 15 minutes in.
I mean, H2K in the expansion tournament was 3-0 against Giants. It was very one-sided games. And every single one of the games, Whirlip actually got destroyed one-on-one against Odo Amne, or well, we can say 2v1 in this situation because there's been quite a few ganks on him. But he went from having like a 6 KDA against Recent Gaming to drop down like under 1 KDA against H2K in the final of the expansion tournament. So they really know how to play against Giants. They know everything about them. They've faced them so many times, and they're showing it here. Very aggressive early plays, picking a comp that can punish them in the mid-game and can engage onto Giants.
Well, and the communication is quite well, too. A lot of people wondered when Ryu joined the team how that would exactly work out. Of course, Prawley was mentioning that in the interview, that it's not really as much of an issue, and they just kind of mind meld together. But they're really showing a lot of togetherness, and, you know, as a replacement for Favivin, it seems like Ryu is starting to come into his own, working out quite well in this game.
Yeah, definitely looking better for him. See if he can keep assassinating people. H2K now split up in a 1-3-1 because they're so strong on every single member here. You can just put the LeBlanc down in a one-on-one in the bottom lane, and she should be able to either force someone to go back or kill them and then take the tower. So H2K here just trying to spread out Giants and keep getting these one-on-one and 2v2 fights.
They have spread him pretty thin, and they're not even really worried about Whirlib at this point because he's been set so far behind that by the time that late-game Cassiopeia becomes even close to an issue, at this rate, they'll have knocked down all the inhibitors.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how Whirlib can even play the team fights, because you know Voidly is going to have a Tibbers ready for him every single time. And then Ryu can follow in with DFG and just pop him.
Yeah, and there's not as much peel, too. I mean, this is the thing. You've got the Lulu Wild Growth, and that's about it, really, to try to keep someone alive here. And here we go, Lulex getting a little bit far forward. Pepinero trying for the charm, not quite connecting. Teleport coming for Odo Omni. A big Tibbers is going to connect at Pepinero's health bar. So low, and Frederick now can't quite flash the wall. He's going down to Odo Omni. It could have been worse, but still, H2K leading the charge on this tower as the teleport comes in from Whirlip. What was he doing? Ryu with another kill, and that'll be a tower too.
H2K is simply outplaying Giants in terms of just the mechanical play here. Notice again how Lulex, he dodges the charm, and then instantly 3-man tables from Voidal. H2K wins another fight, even get a kill on Whirlip. His teleports have been awful this game.
That was the second time I was about to say that Whirlip is teleported in with no backup whatsoever. Really questionable decision-making from him. And that is going to be H2K picking up even more of a lead in this game as they head back to mid to clear some waves out.
Yeah, we're not even hitting 2 items yet for any of the guys on H2K. Morello Nomicon coming in for Rio, obviously. We need a second item on Yanan here. He just hit it on a long sword, so it could be a Ghost Blade simply to really snowball again this mid game here to get that 6-second power spike and more mobility as well to dodge around the Ari Charm, dodge around the poison from a Cassiopeia, because she needs to land it for it to really do damage. If you fire 1 Twin Fang and you have no poison on the target, you suddenly have such a long cooldown on it that you lose all your DPS.
Giants now trying to grab a little bit more control back over by this Dragon Pit. It's due up in about 30 seconds. So if they can grab the Skull Crab, they'll be in a decent position. But however, H2K is just so strong at starting these fights. They're going to have to sneak in. Frederick is in the middle. Ryu actually looking for him. The chains have connected, but he has Rydal there for the support. Frederick still has to back out. There's no way they can start this Dragon now.
And the vision is gone. Well, the vision is still there.
Still quite a lot of wards,
the control is gone.
They don't really have any way to get to them, and now they're starting to lose this inner tower down the middle. H2K more interested in taking out the objectives that don't come back, and it's gone.
Yeah, so with all the guys from Giants trying to set up for a Dragon.
Chases down Ryu, whoa!
Oh, into the base gates. They're here,
a little bit too much damage, but they should be able to back out of this one, start the Dragon up themselves. Giants still licking their wounds over this, but Frederick is back up.
And look how many wards Giants have placed. Look how many wards Giants have placed here around that Dragon and still can't get it because Frederick...
Ooh, that time was a little too late.
Close enough.
Hey, Audrey's getting an A for effort on those ones, but it's not going to get in the Dragon. 2 for 2 now over to H2K. 5 towers to 0, and H2K have looked fairly flawless in this game.
I mean, again, look at the deep vision from them, so they can see everything on the bottom side of the map, which means Rio can jump in aggressive. Didn't like these small pick opportunities for him because he knows, okay, nobody's nearby from Giants because I can see everything on the map.
Speaking of side as well, H2K's invested in those upgraded green trinkets. Extra pink
early on
for Harden. Yeah, very, very early. Oh, Ryu, got to be more careful than that, rather, although he will be able to juke Frederick for just a moment. Yes, the blue buff goes on the real LeBlanc.
I really like the totem upgrades here from H2K. It's a greater stealth totem and a greater vision totem for Yanan on his side. So you get that pink ward, you get obviously the green ward as well. 1 minute cooldown on it, and it stays for 3 minutes like a normal ward. So it's very, very smart to consistently get wards done in the enemy jungle and keep up this control you have on the map to create these picks. And
there's the collapse. The Tibbers is going to land on Whirlip, who will flash away from this one. Odoamne, big Gnar smash, and Hjarnan gets Whirlip. Frederick jumps in for the heroic effort, but he's got no backup as well, and that is going to be a 3-for-0 smash. And a double kill going over to Hjarnan as they look to push in mid again.
And again, H2K really pushing their lead here. They have the engage options, they use them, and Voidal,
charmed up,
stays alive.
Pepinero just doesn't have the damage he needs right now, only sitting on the Morello Nomicon as a completed item, and I don't think he can even ward off this 5-man assault on the tower. Ryu dodges the charm again, goes in DFG, and he does not quite have the damage, but he sure is scaring the hell out of Pepinero.
Yeah, just pushing him away. Back into his own fountain inhibitor. Now for H2K, 21 minutes in. They're really pushing this.
They've been able to grab that first inhibitor, or rather inhibitor turret at 21 minutes in.
Oh, look at Ryu.
Yep, there we go. Still waiting to see if he can get the assassination. Whirlib won't get close enough. But yeah, you gotta be really worried when your inhibitor's down at 21.5. You don't know where H2K is on the map for all of the money they've spent investing in wards. They haven't really got a lot of information out of it.
No, and Ryu's still waiting for the one pick. He's soon gonna realize Giants is like, yeah, we're not even nearby. Let's just push a mid lane instead. He's gonna sneak in behind them. There's no wards from Giants to actually spot him here.
Yeah, Giants will be able to take this tower,
well,
but it's so little and so late. Odoamne teleporting in for the flank. Can they get the collapse off? Voidal eats a charm, a lot of damage, but Giants not sure where to go. Whirlip very low, gets knocked up, locked up. There we go. Hjarnan comes in with the pick, and Odoamne on the chase, charmed up. Audrey still pushing damage onto him. Pepinero trying for the assassination, not quite enough. They get one, They nearly pick Odoamne. There we go. That looks like Frederick. Oh. Boydell actually is the one who goes down in that one. That was really hectic second win, but still, H2K coming out on top. They've got waves pushing in every lane now, and it's disaster mode for Giants Gaming.
Ryu going in again.
Yeah, gonna find Pepinero. He gets charmed. Still has the damage and the chains, forcing the wild growth out as a tower gets taken on top. 7-1 is the tower score for H2K.
Absolutely fantastic play by H2K here. Making sure Giants never get a chance to just sit back and farm. I mean, always fighting, teleporting behind them, complete vision control in the jungle of Giants as well.
They don't give a response time to Giants. It's just
not at all.
One attack, one place, another place, and you're forcing them to play on your own terms. And this is how Giants had lost their last game, but H2K can keep it up.
This was a 6-minute tier from Whirly, and it's not even fully stacked yet.
Let's take a look at that.
How slow it is for him. Yeah, so Odoamne teleporting in. Ryu, of course, been hiding in the jungle of Giants. Well, let's take a bit of poke, but Whirly here actually blocked by Yano with his spell shield, and he's not been having a great game on this Cassiopeia here. H2K are just playing around it, dancing in, not really face planting their way into Whirly and Giants as a team. But all in all, just a beautiful setup, and obviously Pepinero managed to get a turn kill in the end.
Yeah, even with the Tibbers drop there, yeah, Pepinero still grabbing a little bit back into this, but he's 2-2-1. If you want to call that sort of the bright spot of Giants right now, it's a little bit of a stretch because, yeah, 0-5 on Warlib's Cassiopeia. He's made some really oddball decisions that haven't worked for the team this game. He's been getting danced around by this H2K team, this very mobile H2K team, I might add. And yeah, they've avoided all of his ultimates.
Exactly, because H2K are so mobile and because they have this Sivir here to speed people up. That's actually why I was not saying expecting, but I would have understood if Atri had gone for like the blue build Ezreal, because you have so much damage from a Cassiopeia and an Ahri, and you can go for that build if you're not the main damage source on your team, which he's not. And then you actually have some kiting potential together with a Lulu to stop H2K from just running into them every time and getting the engage they wanted to. But instead, Baron being started and no reaction from the Giants.
Yeah, they're not really feeling confident enough to even move out that far, although Lulek's a little bit low, will get the smite down. Ryu is actually fending off the entire Giants team, and well done. They'll get the empowered recall. Excellent control of the neutral objectives this game, as well as the towers. They've barely given up a thing.
Oh yeah, I mean everything has just been in favor of H2K in this game here. And credit to them. They're really showing how they've learned from week one. Not just gonna give time to the other teams so they can sit and scale up. And funny enough, actually also played against the Cassiopeia and gave her to like 50 minutes into the game. And Soren from the Copenhagen Wolves could then start winning fights with 1100 AP.
Yeah, this game is going a little bit fast for the Giants' liking. As another Dragon looks to be started up here by H2K. They'll take care of the Rift Scuttler first. And they've just got a lot of damage to be able to take this one down quick. No reaction from Giants Gaming. This should be number 3.
Yeah, and instantly you see Ryu going down to the bottom lane, just setting up the wave, start making it pushing in with the Baron. Buff on them as well. You want to get the mid lane, and obviously you want to get the top lane going ideally. But 2 lanes is enough when you have the Baron buff. And there's not really enough wave to the side of Giants, because keep in mind, Cassiopeia needs a bit of time before she can kill these minions. So they really have Ahri actually and the orb.
Yeah, he found Audrey, not quite enough damage, but they are still a big threat. And when you have that potential to 100-0 someone, it's very, very difficult to defend the siege. Sharnan goes up to the mid and tries to push in as this inhibitor just respawns there. Should be an easy take here for H2K, while Ryu still fending off waves on the bottom. H2K having their way with this Giants team, but Ryu is caught on a charm. Not enough damage, though, from Pepinero.
And as soon as Teleport is going to be ready for Odoamne, then he's going to go to the top lane and start pushing that one in and be able to join his team. Or
Ryu finds Frederick.
Some picks.
Yeah, they are looking for it. Pepinero trying to find a few of his own. Tibbers is down. Boydell getting the kill. Looking for Rydell now is Odoamne. Big Gnar back. He finds Audrey. Here comes Lulex. Do they have the damage? They're still poking down the tower. They do, it looks like, and they clean house. Frederick, the only one alive. Inhibitor should go down. Ryu, actually, that was the wrong Ryu. I got juked on that. I was like, what is he doing? Oh, that's the wrong LeBlanc. They're going to start to be able to push down these towers. Nexus turrets, very, very low. I don't think Frederick can even stop this. He's not even trying. This looks like it's going to be GG. 27 minutes into the game. The Nexus is falling, and it will be H2K going for 2-2 at the start of the spring split.
Yeah, 2 wins here in the week 2 for H2K. Definitely bouncing back after a bit of a tough week 1.